Good morning and welcome to Game 41 of the Underwater Hockey National Championships for 2024 in Cairns. We have the Under-19 Opens. In white we have Queensland A, and in black we have South Australia. Just under 30 seconds until this game kicks off.
But it was like 2-1-1 and 2-2 the whole game. So
Queensland is going to be going right to left and South Australia left to right on your screens. Both teams hitting the puck at the same time. Queensland trying to crash through the middle of the court, but South Australia has good body position from their backs and trying to push it through themselves. Play's going to slowly move to the other side of the court. With Queensland in possession, they're trying to do a forward line switch, running into the backs from South Australia. South Australia back doing a nice little push through there. Nice job there by number 11, Andrew Barker. Doing a nice job staying on the bottom, having good body position and backing up. Going for a backline switch here for Queensland. You're going to play up on the far wall. Nice drive here from Queensland. I see the last defender for South Australia had to drop down to shepherd that one off to the wall. And Queensland driving it across to the other side wall now. We have referee calling against South Australia. Stick infringement. So Queensland's going to have a nice early attacking puck here. They're slightly on the other side of the goal as they take it. And he had no pressure there as he flicked it forward, and it's right near the edge of the goal tray. They try and recycle an under-bum flick, trying to get it onto the tray less than half a metre out. The backs are in from both sides to make sure it stays in the tray. Referees are happy with that. They're going to call that a goal. And they're giving that one to Finn Patton, the captain. Queensland getting the puck this time. He goes to his left-hand side with a flick over the opposition strike, but the right forward for South Australia was down, and South Australia have the puck here, and he's going to do a reverse left pass to his back to try and keep possession, as both teams are doing a nice job dropping down by forwards to intercept and back tackle. Bit of recycling here for South Australia. Well read by the left forward for Queensland, and he's going to drive it forward with some backs backing him up. They're just underneath the South Australia sub-bench, and South Australia having 3 players go through for a little bit of a sub as they try and slowly push Queensland back down the pool. South Australia trying to take it away on an angle and then bring it back into the wall. Queensland backs trying to knock it down. Oh, Mickey tried to knock that one down but went past him there. Good job staying down in case they curled. Play opening up here with a backline switch from Queensland over to the far wall. Now they're going to try and bring it back into the middle, but running into a good early drop down from South Australia backs, and they're going to try and drive to the far side. Queensland flicking it through here to get to the far side. They got a couple numbers here. They're going to try and get the speed and flick it around the outside, but a referee is going to call it up from earlier. No goal against Queensland for a gloving. South Australia free puck. They're going to drive it on the 45 across. And Queensland's going to try and rip it out and around, do another backline switch here. Queensland doing well opening the play up. But good read there from South Australia's forward to try and shut it down. They put pressure on the backline and kept them on a lateral switch. Driving Queensland back down the wall. But Queensland managed to move it around and they're going to push up themselves. They're up past halfway now. They've moved it back into the inside. We've got a forward breaking away here. He's got some numbers but against him, but he's done a nice flick over the top of the opposition. His other forward was there to grab it, and he flicks it back into the middle of the court. The Queensland numbers now are trying to screen it into the middle. Nice little underbody flick up near his face to try and get it in. Ran into opposition, but it looks like he managed to slide it in. Referees are happy with it. I think they're going to give that one to number 7, Amber. South Australia strike dived early on that one. He's got good body position, but Queensland beat him with some speed. It's over to the far side of the court. Queensland pushing him back slowly, but nice curling there by one of the South Australia. I think he was forward. And he's tried to chip it past. He's got it past one, and then he did a bad chip and threw it straight to the Queensland. But his other player has picked it up, doing some skills there, but just couldn't get good possession of the puck, and Queensland moves it underneath the body and then chips it around. He did a nice draw and release there to try and get it to play. Nice deep V there by Augustus, I believe that was, and passing it off to the next player. They're just past the South Australia sub bench. They're now coming in on a 45 to try and bring it in. They've tried to do a lateral switch, but intercepted by South Australia before Queensland's taken possession. Just left it on the bottom there. But Queensland's still pushing forward. Curl there from Augustus trying to pass it around. He throws it, but the South Australian was down and waiting for him. But players are doing nice phase 2 hockey, curling, passing, and trying to drive it and slide it around the players. Well done. Goal to Queensland. I think they're giving that one to Rocco. Mickey did a nice strike there, trying to move it through the middle, but Queensland backs are now driving out and around the outside and then chipping it to try and get it past the player, but did a bad chip. He's now going to try and do an open curl backwards. Luckily, I think that's Jess has read it well, and she's dropped down, and she's going to move it back into the middle and try and switch it across to the far side. South Australia going for their own switch across the middle. Now they pass it up to the forward. And they're going to gain some metres here. They're under Queensland sub-bench. Queensland now have the puck, and they're going to try and keep it back towards the wall. Nice job there by Mickey with a good little flick. And he's moved it forward over halfway. They're now up to South Australia's sub-bench. Queensland continuing to try and drive it forward, but a referee has seen something against Queensland. Barging. Cap number 6 against Rocco. We have a South Australia timeout. South Australia's free puck. They've done a nice job moving it around, and they've got some space here, but they've run into the off half from Queensland, who's driven it right up and done a nice little curl to try and recycle the puck. Queensland in phase 2 hockey, driving it up the far wall. I see the off forward for South Australia is in a perfect position, but he's done a duck dive rather than a pull down, which would have really helped them stop any Queensland 45 drives into the goal. We have a referee calling up the play now for a glove against Queensland. Bit of breathing room now for South Australia. They've got a free puck, defensive free puck on the far side of the court, but they can use the wall to their advantage here. They have one of their players coming back in for a late sub, their off half, as their on half takes the puck. It looks like Queensland's done a good job here to knock it down and move it back into the middle of the court. All numbers down for South Australia, but they managed to control it and screen it and move it. But Queensland's going to move it back into the middle. They're going to keep it in the middle here. Queensland likes it in the middle as they try and flick it forward over the last stick. Unlucky for the right half there for South Australia. She's just slightly, about half a metre out of position, otherwise she would have been able to clear that one. Good job there from South Australia getting to the puck first. He did a bit of a pull back and flick to his left-hand side, which managed to move it around the Queensland strike. Some good players down here from both teams. Queensland trying to move it to the near side wall here. They got a little bit of space to move with. They're up underneath South Australia sub-bench. South Australia need to ensure that they can keep it in this area and don't let Queensland do a switch. See the puck just popping out into the middle there. South Australia trying to move it across the court. Bit of a risky move, I'd say. I would have tried to bring it back to the wall rather than going across the face of the goal. Even at 5 metres out. Queensland's got a little bit of an opportunity to try and bring it out, but well done by the South Australian back, just shutting it down, taking it to the wall, drawing the defender in and then moving it backwards. South Australia's got to get into a 3-way rotation with their back line. At the moment, from what I can see on the surface, they've got a 2-way and leaving the off half as like a lurker sitting on the edge of the tray. If they can get them into a 3-way, then they'll have a much better bottom time to cover a flick straight at the goal, as Queensland has a little bit of a try there, but shut down well and taken back to the wall. But they threw it forward rather than trying to just keep it on the wall and just play phase 2 hockey. Queensland's got an opportunity here to try and flick it forward. All numbers down for the back line as Queensland recycles the puck around. They've got an opportunity to flick it past onto the lip of the tray. They've got a couple numbers down to try and scoop it in. I believe it's in. No goal. They're going to go for gloving against Queensland. One referee saw him smash it in with a glove, and another referee is calling for an equal puck. So we're going to have a equal puck. Oh, nice drop down there from Queensland as he's chipped it forward. The backs are now going to try and recycle, but well done on a double team for defense on there by South Australia as they moved it back to the wall. Some good pressure here from Queensland trying to move it back into the middle. They got numbers down covering the near side, but a little bit of a breakout there. Nice recycle curl there by Queensland, and he flicks it forward, but we have a referee calling against Queensland, using a bit of free arm. We have South Australia having a couple subs, and Anton's the coach for Queensland has called a timeout. So South Australia needs to really make sure that both their forwards and their backs focus on the diamond. In their defensive third, they want to take it to the wall even if they're moving slightly backwards. Just ensuring that they play phase 2 hockey and continuing to hold the puck. In phase 2, Queensland can't score because they have the puck. Looks like the fullback for South Australia is going to be taking this free defensive puck right in the center of the court. About 5 meters out from goal. He takes it on a nice lateral and then passes it to his right half, who's driven it over to the wall. Yeah. They've moved backwards. Nice job here from number 22 for South Australia. That's Espen doing a nice reverse to ensure that they keep possession of the puck. Queensland trying to scoop it backwards out and around and trying to bring it into the middle. They flicked it into the middle. Augustus going up and over the top there to try and get possession of the puck and then flick it under the body. Queensland driving towards the tray here. They got a few numbers on both ends of the tray to try and scoop it in. The South Australia trying to get it out the far side there. One referee calling. Nah, someone's going out. Bit of free arm. Out for a minute. Yeah, Rudy's out for 1 minute, and we have half time. So at half time, Queensland is in the lead 4-0, with Rudy out for at least 45 seconds in the next half. South Australia trying to flick it up the wall here. Trying to get it past Sienna and continue to drive it forward. Nice job there by the South Australia back getting in on the tail of his forwards and continuing to give him support and drive forward. They're up to Queensland's sub-bench. Queensland still have 5 players, so it's 6v5. Good opportunity for South Australia as Queensland have a couple subs come through. Plays moving into the middle. Queensland moving it, trying to move it back to the wall. A little bit of a bad judgment call there, but I think that was Andrew Barker being a little bit too wide rather than be able to come in on the inside of the player. As Queensland drives it further forward, they're up past South Australia's sub-bench, trying to bring it into the middle, recycling the puck well and then continuing to drive forward. They got some numbers to try and recycle the puck, but so does South Australia, who do a good job in having 3 players down all around the player, not letting them have any space. But he's tried to move it back through the middle of the court, and Queensland's taking advantage. Nice shutdown by the back there from South Australia, but Queensland getting strong on the bottom and pushing underneath their bodies to try and flick it out and around with a bit of a shovel. South Australia clearing it to the side. Here we have Finn. It is Finn, number 8. Yeah, Finn trying to do some good work on the back, but he could have had an opportunity to flick it there. But South Australia now moving it up the wall. See Andrew Barker dropping down there to put some pressure on, as there's a nice big scrum exactly underneath the sub bench, and South Australia taking good advantage of doing one breath hockey, as we have a referee here in the corner. We have a foul against Queensland for stick infringement. Yes, I saw a couple forwards there doing a really good job by South Australia. They were playing nice, hard, strong hockey on the wall, and when they were tired, they just went straight into the sub bench, didn't even think about anything else and let the play go on. Left half for South Australia taking the puck and trying to move it forward. He's reached a forward, but Queensland have gained possession and gone for a 45 drive, but referee isn't happy. He's going to go against Queensland for a legal knockdown. So South Australia are going to have another defensive free puck here. 2 meters in front of their sub bench. Left half's going to take it. He moves forward, no pressure from Queensland forwards. They're just sitting there waiting for him as he flicks it forward into a scrum. Another referee signalling here. He's sending someone out for 2 minutes. He's not happy with someone. Is that Rudy again? Rudy out for 2 minutes this time. So 6v5, good opportunity here for South Australia. Halfway up the pool, free puck. Takes the puck, the fullback takes the puck and tries to open the play up. High curl there from the Queenslander. It should have been quite low on the bottom instead. But Queensland have got the puck and they're driving it forward, moving it underneath the body of the late drop down from South Australia. And they've taken it over to the far wall with a good screen. South Australia have a sub going at the moment, so it's 5v5 on the wall. Subs back into play. We have advantage from one referee being played who's going to call the play up. We have a barging against Queensland. So barging or obstruction is where you're pushing the opposition player. South Australia free puck. Takes the puck and looks to bring it to the middle of the court. He's got his left half ready as he does a big flick. Shut down by the Queensland back line. I think that's Andrew Barker who tries to pull himself underneath. But well done there from the left half from South Australia, staying down and ensuring that it makes it to the wall. Nice bit of a scrum there right in the middle of the court. Nice bottom time here from South Australia. Nice curl and pass to our fullback, giving him the option to choose. Augustus sitting there waiting in case he does a switch. So good read by the fullback to taking it back to the wall rather than trying to switch it. Referee going to say gloving against Queensland. Queensland having lots of fouls against them at the moment. Despite themselves being up in the score, they need to try and slow it down and play smart phase 1 hockey. Left half for South Australia taking it. She's going to open it up to the fullback, who's going to try and keep swimming it. He's got two forwards. He had two forwards on him. He passed it off to his right half, who took it on a nice lateral swim to the far side. Augustus popping on the far side there from Queensland as South Australia drive it forward. It's now 6v6 with Rudy jumping back in the water. Queensland trying to go forward, but they throw a pass to no one, and South Australia is able to take advantage. Nice steal curl there from Queensland, but South Australia still's got the puck, and they're going to keep driving it forward on the far side. They're playing that wall channel very well as Queensland takes it back into the corner and then trying to find players to pass it forward. Plays about 4 meters from the back wall. Both sides seem a little bit puffed. Only a couple players down at a time at the moment. And no off half for Queensland sitting deep. There's off half. They've gone into a three-way rotation as it's almost into the back corner. Nice bit of a drive back into the wall there from the off forward from Queensland as they push it further up. He was sitting there waiting and did a nice pull down and strike. But South Australia's going to push it up the wall. They've done a good job on that wall. They're using it to their advantage on the channel, but they need to pull it out and try for a backline switch or a forward 45 drive to open the game. Otherwise, Queensland will just keep it on the wall. And the referee in the corner is going to call gloving against South Australia. It's a bit hard for a right-hander on the right-hand wall. You got to flip your stick over to make sure it's stick on puck. We have a couple guys from South Australia going for a sub and a couple from Queensland, but the South Australians are going to be late as it's a Queensland free puck and they take it nice and quickly and try and take advantage. They've recycled the puck and thrown it on a 45 forward into the middle of the court. South Australia doing a good job screening and having good body position on the bottom, whereas the Queenslanders let themselves start floating off the bottom. Here they come on this side here from Queensland. Nice drive there from Mickey as he flicks it past the last guy to try to come around. He tries to flick it to the inside again, but he didn't draw the defender close enough to him, and the defender was able to knock it down and have a scrap and take it back. We have a referee giving advantage at the moment, and the play is going to be pulled up against Queensland. Chopping the arm. South Australia having a few subs come in now, with their free puck being just in front of their sub bench, and we have a timeout by South Australia. South Australia puck. They flick it forward. They've got a nice, good little drive there, but good job by the Queensland fullback. He goes for a nice deep switch in the back line and then reverses and brings it back into the middle, trying to link up with Mickey and drive it forward, but well done for I think it's the left forward for South Australia, coming on the inside and taking the puck. South Australia fullback trying to go for a drive here, but hit by a couple Queensland defenders who then recycle the puck to drive it back through on the middle between two South Australians. He does a draw and release to try and get past the next player, but screen to the side, and then they try and throw it forward. Oh, bad flick there from Queensland straight to the South Australians, who then are double teamed by Queensland, and the back line has the puck, but a referee's not happy. We have a warning for stick infringement against Queensland. Team warning. And that's going to be a South Australia free puck. Just behind halfway. About 3 metres in from the side. Fullback's taking the puck. Queensland forwards come out. And looks like Augustus managed to get some stick on it. But South Australia is going for a nice big flick to try and get past Queensland defenders. And they've got an opportunity. But Queensland backs do a good job in sweeping it around to the far side. Queensland trying to drive up the far wall or halfway up the court now. And continuing to drive it forward, playing some phase 2 hockey. Trying to be smart with the puck. It's not phase 3 yet. Just need to recycle the puck and continue forward. South Australia dropping down and trying to shut down Queensland's breakthrough, but Queensland's got some numbers and they're trying to flick it through. Bit of barging there from Queensland, but looks like they managed to scoop it in. Referees agree no goal. Barging against Queensland. Good call, referees. Mickey was just a bit too excited and lifted the last man for South Australia off the bottom with his shoulder and head as he tried to flick it for a goal. Sigh of relief for South Australia, and their fullback's going to take this puck from right in front of the tray. And he's going to move it to the side and pass it to his halfback who takes it to the wall. Queensland forwards, I see they're trying to drop in behind and disrupt the South Australian phase 2 hockey. As they drive it past the South Australia sub bench, but we have a glove against Queensland. Good subbing here from South Australia, and we have a Queensland timeout. South Australia threw it a little bit too far forward there, and Queensland was able to curl the puck and pass it to the backs, and they've done a nice deep backline switch and brought it back into the middle of the court. Queensland trying to get some numbers around the play here. Nice switch and little shovel there. I think that was by Finn, and managed to link up with some players. Crash into the wall rather than getting the puck into the goal. And South Australia going to try and clear it, but I see the puck in the tray. We have a goal. I think they're awarding it to cap number 5. Christoph Kruger. So it's a very effective ploy of drawing the opposition in and taking them to the slide just off the angle from the goal, and then shoveling it underneath their body to a forward or a back who is ready and waiting, who can then have a chip at goal. Queensland elite women are very good at that. Queensland winning the puck, trying to do a swerve and drive through the middle, but struck by 2 South Australians who then continue to try and drive it forward. Mickey picks the puck and is trying to drive it forward himself here now. He curls it back to Andrew Barker, who drives it up the wall, managing to slip between a couple South Australians, but the back line have cleaned him up. Queensland now bringing it into the middle, tries to do a push-pull but run into South Australian, and plays move to the far side of the wall with a nice screening effort from Queensland forwards. Queensland trying to bring it back into the middle here. With a nice pick there from the right forward from Queensland. He does a nice little push pull with a draw and release. Well done as he brings it back to his strike and then moves it around the next player. But it's collected by, I think that's the fullback for South Australia, and tried to take it to the wall. But Queensland's moved it through the middle here with a nice strong flick. He threw it a little bit too high, but good job staying down after he flicked to put it in the goal. And I think that's Rudy there getting that one. Yeah, taking advantage of his earlier recovery on the sideline. I hear both coaches yelling at their team, saying 1 minute left, and South Australia should try and continue to play that wall game that they've been doing quite well, keeping it within that 1 metre channel from the wall. South Australia coming out nice and strong and hard, collecting the puck and bringing it to his left forward, but who's collected by a little bit of a aggressive tackle there from Queensland's forwards, but South Australia still got the puck. Nice job driving it to the wall and curling it onto the wall rather than away from the wall, but he was surrounded by Queenslanders. Queensland now trying to recycle it. Nice job there by the South Australian getting in between the Queensland players to try and disrupt the play, but he's got to try and keep body position. Andrew was able to take advantage of that and drive it up the wall. So underneath South Australia's sub bench, they've got plenty of subs coming in and out, doing a good job with some good effort, trying to keep Queensland out, because Queensland have lost the puck and South Australia trying to drive it forward on the wall, but that is full time. Full time with Queensland winning over South Australia in a nice, good-paced under-19s game.